This is the Fit Mess, where together we learn to develop habits that help us live beyond our mental health struggles to create happier, healthier lives.
He's Zach. He lives in the future with his anxiety.
He's Jeremy, and he lives in the past with his depression. And we get together once a week in the present to share the obstacles we face and how we overcome them. Hey there, my overthinking, caffeine-addicted, sleep-deprived champions of stress. This is Zach. This is the Fit Mess. It's a solo episode today, and I want to talk about anxiety. We're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into the fun, unpredictable, and utterly exhausting world that is anxiety. So buckle up.
What if your mornings didn't start with an annoying jolt, but with a calm focus and energy? If improving your sleep routine is a top priority for 2025, meet the Lofty Clock, a bedside essential engineered by sleep experts to transform both your bedtime and your mornings. Here's why I find the Lofty Clock to be a game changer. It mimics your body's natural rhythm. It helps you wind down at night and wakes you up gently with a two-phase alarm. First, a soft wake-up sound to ease you into consciousness, followed by a more energizing get-up sound to help you start the day. Lofty's not just an alarm clock. It's your all-in-one bedside sound machine. It offers over 100 options, including white noise, nature sounds, meditations, and even bedtime stories to help you relax and unwind. So get that phone out of your bedroom. Let's face it, grabbing your phone to set an alarm or listen to an audiobook often leads to an hour or more of mindless scrolling. Join over 100,000 blissful sleepers who have upgraded their rest and mornings with Lofty. Go to buylofty.com and use the code FITMESS20 for 20% off orders over $100. That's BYLOFTIE.com with the promo code FITMESS20.
I know right now that voice in your head, it won't shut up, and you're having heart palpitations. You think you're having a heart attack. You're replaying embarrassing moments from 10 years ago at 2 o'clock in the morning for no particular reason. Any of this sound familiar? Anyone who listens to the show knows that I run hot on the anxiety scale. So I'm just going to go into some general overviews here. Look, back in the caveman days, anxiety was a survival tool. Imagine you're a prehistoric dude chilling out in a cave and suddenly, boom, a saber-toothed tiger shows up. Your brain immediately floods your system with adrenaline, your heart races, your muscles tense, and you decide, I gotta fight, flight, or freeze, right? That is anxiety. So fast forward to today, guess what? No more saber-toothed tigers. But instead of shutting up, your brain decided, hey, what if we reacted like we're being chased like a wild animal, but instead of a tiger, it's just a mildly awkward social interaction or an email or literally nothing at all. And bam, now you're out here sweating through your shirt because you sent a text with a period instead of an exclamation point. I mean, come on. All right, well, let's talk about the symptoms. Or, as I like to say, how your brain gaslights you for fun. Anxiety doesn't just live in your head. Oh no, this little gremlin is an all systems operation. Racing thoughts? Check. Heart pounding like a drum solo? Yup. Feeling like you forgot something important even though you didn't? Yeah, of course. Overanalyzing everything you said in a meeting 3 weeks ago? Welcome to the club. Panic attacks? Fun surprise feature like an Apple update no one asked for. And let's not forget about the best part. Sometimes anxiety doesn't need a reason at all. You could be laying in bed perfectly relaxed and your brain just goes, hey, what if you forgot how to breathe? Seriously, we've all been there. And suddenly you're hyperventilating over a bodily function that you've been doing literally since birth. So let's talk about anxiety's greatest hits, because there's a couple of different flavors here. Not all anxiety is created equal, folks. Oh no. This little beast comes in many fun varieties. Generalized anxiety disorder. Everyday life feels like a nerve-ending exam you forgot to study for. Social anxiety. The fear that everyone is secretly judging you, even though they're probably thinking about what's for dinner. Panic attack. When your body decides to throw in a full-blown meltdown at completely random moments. Health anxiety, Googling a headache and concluding that you have 5 minutes left to live. OCD, when your brain makes you do the same thing over and over just to make sure reality isn't crumbling. It's like a toxic little relationship, except the toxic one is your own nervous system. So I learned to make friends with my anxiety a long time ago, so I actually root for it for the most part, but I do tell it to calm down. But if anxiety had an Olympic event, it would definitely be overthinking. And my friends, we are all gold medalists at it. That anxiety friend does so good. Tell me if any of this sounds familiar. You text someone, they don't reply. Your brain goes, they hate you. Reality is, they're just busy. Or maybe you say something slightly awkward in a conversation. Your brain goes, congratulations, you've ruined your entire reputation forever. Reality, no one even noticed. The problem is our brain is really bad at telling the difference between real threats and imaginary ones. We treat, oh no, I forgot to send an email, the same way as we treat being on fire. So how do we stop? Well, I wish I had a magic fix, but here's what actually helps. Number 1, question your thoughts. Not everything your brain tells you is true. Number 2, ground yourself in reality. Take note of 5 things that you see, 4 things that you feel, 3 things that you hear, and distract that brain of yours. Number 3, breathe. It sounds dumb, works wonders, box breathing. We talk about it all the time. Number 4, move your body. Exercise, dance, go outside, flail around like a Muppet. Whatever works. Number 5, stop doom scrolling. Your phone is a panic attack in a little tiny rectangular package. So we got a couple of tips and tricks on how to manage your anxiety. Obviously, it's much easier said than done. I've spent the better part of 20 years managing mine. And while I still have it under control for the most part, and I'm able to manage it, I was at the hospital the other day thinking I was having a heart attack, and it was just a full-blown panic attack. So no matter how good you think you get at managing your anxiety, it's still going to be there. So remember to become friends with that little devil and make sure that you know how to talk to it. So let's ask a bigger question. You ever wonder why anxiety seems to be at an all-time high? Anyone have a guess? Anyone? Well, I can't hear you, so even if you are guessing, it doesn't matter. Look, we've got things in our world that no other generation has seen. We've got social media. Nothing like consistently comparing your real life to someone else's heavily edited highlight reel. Work culture, right? It's so crazy. If you're not hustling 24/7, you're failing. Spoiler alert, though. You're not failing. You're doing great. The news cycle, breaking. Everything is on fire, always and forever. Sleep deprivation. Fun fact, anxiety is way worse when you're running on 3 hours of sleep and a latte. Basically, our brains were not built for this much input. We're cavemen, living in a world with notifications, deadlines, and an algorithm that knows what we're afraid of better than we do. All right, so we've established anxiety is a total buzzkill, but what can we do about it? Here's some actually useful tips. Talk to someone, a therapist, a friend, your dog. Just get out of your head. Try and limit your caffeine. I know, I'm sorry, but jitter juice does not help. I've had 3 cups today and I'm a little wired right now and things are going crazy. Sleep. Your brain needs rest. You are not a smartphone. You can't function on 1%. Try meditating. Sounds woo-woo. Actually rewires your brain. Takes time, but it will help. Laugh. Anxiety hates laughter. Watch a stupid movie. Make a dumb joke. Be ridiculous. There is a reason why most of the things that come out of my mouth is from a 12-year-old boy's perspective, because I just want to have fun. I just want to laugh. And most importantly, be kind to yourself. Look, anxiety sucks, but beating yourself up over it just makes it worse. So anyway, my anxious amigos, let's recap. Anxiety is your brain trying to keep you alive, but being really bad at it. Overthinking's a sport, and we're all champions. Just because you think something bad will happen doesn't mean it will. Social media, caffeine, and sleep deprivation are not helping, and you're not alone in this. And remember, your thoughts are not you. You are not your anxiety. You're a badass human who sometimes gets stuck in a thought tornado, and that's okay. Now, go drink some water, stretch your legs, and if all else fails, distract yourself with cat videos. Science says it works, so can't argue with science.
We know. This podcast is amazing, and it doesn't seem to lack anything, but we need a legal disclaimer. Prior to implementing anything discussed in this podcast, it is your responsibility to conduct your own research and consult your physician. You should assume that Jeremy and Zach don't know what they're talking about, and they're not liable for any physical or emotional issues that occur directly or indirectly from listening to this podcast.